So let's talk about choosing optimal
So that's the
proteins.
science. Now let's get into when you're at the store, where do you get this stuff, right? How do you find it? How do you get creative with it so it's not just so boring?
Right.
Animal and plant proteins, right?
Yep, and it's easier to get it from animals because the animal proteins basically, they are more bioavailable. So when you eat it and your body breaks it down, the nutrients in there, the amino acids, the proteins, and the vitamins are more bioavailable. Can't talk today. But plants have a lot of the same amino acids and proteins. It's just you have to be wise and work a little harder at making sure, because those essential amino acids we talked about, there aren't many plants that have all of the essential amino acids or that are called what we call a complete protein. Animals are complete proteins. So when you eat beef or lamb or chicken or usually even seafood, you can get all of those amino acids you need. Plants, it's really harder. So I think maybe we could start with looking at animal protein and just kind of talking through how do you choose optimal proteins through animals?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and I'm fascinated with this topic, and I know sometimes we get into these conversations together, but you know, the one thing about, and we're going to really harp on grass-fed, right, is that an animal will eat the grass, right, and then make their body. So obviously there is proteins in grass, right? And even if you and I were to say, hey, we're not going to ever eat animal, you got to eat a ton. You got to work super hard at eating so much vegetables and lentils and all these others that can help with the protein. And really what we're doing is when we eat an animal meat, that they've spent their whole life to work for you to take on that protein, right? So I mean, you think about how that works. We're basically still eating the grass, but through the animal, and it makes it much more efficient for us to get the protein in our body very quick. So we don't have to eat, 5 acres of grass. I'm joking. That's a joke, just so you know.
Right.
But I mean,
Right.
just to
Graze
give us
all
an
day
idea
like
of why do
them.
we even eat animal food. It's very efficient protein.
It is. And that's a very good point. I love and hear Dr. Hyman mentions it's not about the quantity, but the quality of the food we eat. And you are what your food eats. I love that too.
You are what your
You are
food
what
eats.
your food eats. Thanks for tuning in to our OPT2LIV podcast today. If you would like to learn more information about us, check us out at OPT2LIV.com.